I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da, da ba dee da ba da ba dee da ba da ba dee. Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing my in-depth, spoiler-filled review for Iron Man 3. Now, to let you guys know, if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're really, you don't want me to ruin it for you, this is not the video for you. I have a non-spoiler review version in my channel. Please go look it up. Just go to the channel, click on the search button, type in Iron Man 3, and you will find the non-spoiler version. So for those of you who have seen Iron Man 3 and want to hear my thoughts on it, I'm going to be doing an in-depth review right now. Let's get into it. So we start off Iron Man 3. Right away you hear the theme, Eiffel 65, 1999, I'm blue or blue. Love the song. Love the song. I mean, it's a stupid song. I recognize that. I know it's silly, everything like that, but I was a 90s kid, and I'll tell you, man, in the 90s, Eiffel 65 was the shit. So definitely very cool opening scene, great music choice, I think. We're opening it up. We get to see Tony. He's at a party. What else is he doing? Of course. And then he meets Guy Pearce's character. He's with that girl who is fairly important as part of it. Then he meets Guy Pearce's character, who turns out to introduce himself as the advanced, what is it, intelligence mechanics or inventive mechanics or something like that, AIM. And basically introduces himself as a leader, so Tony tells him that he'll meet him on the rooftop in 20 minutes. And of course, never shows up. Of course. So pretty funny. And of course, his arrogance is sort of just him being a random jerk, ends up in the future coming back to bite him full circle, which I thought was pretty clever. It was good because we at least got to see a little bit of motivation for Guy Pearce's character, in that he would want to get back at Tony for doing that to him, for just making a fool out of him, and also just, shutting him off like he's nothing, and not even paying any attention to him whatsoever. So just the fact that he would want to, prove it to him later on when he had an opportunity after all of his work is done and everything like that, it makes sense. So the movie starts out, you get a lot of different, random talk. You got Pepper and Tony Stark, of course, and we get to see the new suits, everything like that. And before long, you see Jon Favreau, his character, their security guard, so to speak, gets in a tussle with one of the extremis projects from AIM, basically, and gets his arse kicked, and next thing you know, Tony is pissed. So he makes a threat to the Mandarin, which at this point I'm like, oh, this is going to be good, because we're seeing the Mandarin. He's got these clips on television, and it reminds you of like a cross between like Osama bin Laden and, I don't know, like I want to say maybe Hitler or something like that, where he's he's preaching and he's talking about different incidents in the past when the Americans did things that were evil. I'll just be general to say evil type of things, like with the natives and everything like that. And I was definitely at that point digging the Mandarin. I'm like, oh, this guy's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. This is awesome, because the Mandarin is that arch nemesis. He is the nemesis for Tony, for Iron Man. He is the Joker to Batman, Mandarin to Iron Man. He is that villain. He is that character. So I was like, oh man, they're not going to let us down. Finally, we get to see the Mandarin in a movie. It's been, it's been a long time. I can't believe they didn't use him sooner. It's like bringing in the Joker in the second or third movie. It's like, wow, yeah, it's so exciting. And definitely doesn't disappoint. Ben Kingsley's performance, I thought, was great. Sold it really well, and I was buying into it. This whole terrorist appeal type thing and everything like that. As a villain, I don't mean appeal as in like like you look up to him. I mean like like as a villain, you're like, oh man, he's scary and everything like that. And I like Tony's line when he says he's not afraid of him and gives him his address and everything. That's great. And then of course they get attacked right away, pretty much. Right, next scene we see them with Pepper, and then that girl arrives. And you've got the helicopters with the rockets flying in and everything. Very exciting scene when you have Pepper, and I like, probably my favorite part of that is when Tony uses the suit to protect Pepper, and he goes flying. That was a great scene. It was like a sense of vulnerability because he doesn't have the suit on. You know, he's not in the suit. He's very vulnerable. He's getting tossed around, and then when he finally gets the suit on and Pepper's safe and everything like that, then he gets dragged down under with his whole, like, everything, his whole house falling off the cliff and everything. So definitely a very exciting scene. At that point, at time, I was really feeling the movie. I was like, man, this is awesome. This is dark. You've got a scary villain, which I love to see, your boogeyman type villain like that. Especially one that we can relate to in the real world because you have, like, Osama bin Laden and people like this that were or had out there and, doing these types of things. And, man, it just, it just really felt authentic and dangerous and, like all, he's really going to take it to Tony and everything like that, and this is going to be really close. How's he going to come back from this and everything? So really feeling at that point, thought it was just like, wow, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we go forward, and essentially Tony gets knocked out, of course, wakes up in, was it Tennessee, meets the kid, and, goes on a little adventure with him without his suit again, and ends up fighting one of the extremist projects, again, the female one this time, and ends up beating her with a microwave, which is pretty interesting, pretty clever, and everything like that. I did like it. But at the same time, it's like, see an Iron Man without his suit on. It's just, there's a sense of vulnerability, but it's weird. It's like, I don't know. It just feels weird. But it's still exciting and everything like that. So then we get Don Cheadle. He's as... of course, War Machine, or now the Iron Patriot, which I guess it makes sense because Iron Patriot's probably a better name than War Machine. In terms of him, I don't really like Don Cheadle for the role. I like the actor in the first one. Was it Terrence Howard? I forget. The actor for the first Iron Man. So, but Don Cheadle, whatever. It is what it is. Whatever. He's okay. So he's in there. He's got his new suit and everything like that. And then, we go through and... we get to see some more scenes with Guy Pearce's character, the leader of AIM. Go through with that, and just to kind of fast forward a bit, essentially Tony goes in, gets kind of, let's see, goes after the Mandarin, and then we find out who the Mandarin, really is. So Ben Kingsley's character really is. Now this is something I could talk about for an entire video, and I probably will do that coming up. So I'll just touch on it here in this review because I don't want to go on for too long since I've already done the non-spoiler version. This one's a spoiler one. So the decision to take the Mandarin's character and essentially turn him into an actor, okay? Okay, now there's some good and bad to it. It's clever, and it's a good twist. Like, you don't see it coming. At least I didn't see it coming. I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be great. This guy's like a terrorist, whatever. He's in cahoots with the leader of AIM. That's how he's hijacking the TV stations, everything like that. And he's selling the performance really well. He's scary as hell. I'm buying it. And then we find out that he's just like an actor working for the leader of AIM, of course. And then I'm just like, oh man. The positive side of it is that you don't see it coming. It is interesting. It's like, wow, I would never thought that. And it's funny, too. Like, it's humorous when he catches him and everything, and he's, like, defenseless. He's just, like, this little dude and everything, and he's, like a junkie and stuff. So it is funny. But at the same time, I prefer my villains to be, like, badass villains. I like to see, I'm a fan of the old, you've got one character, you got the hero, and then you got the villain. And the villain should be like really tough and nasty and mean and and definitely be almost as strong as your hero, if not a little bit stronger. Then the hero has to rise to the occasion and defeat the villain. That's my favorite kind, especially when it's dark like this and you got a villain that's like a terrorist. That's very cool, man. So it was an interesting choice to go against that and to go for the more clever, funny route, lighter route, instead of going that darker path down where Tony Stark's going to fight a terrorist now. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I guess it is kind of interesting, too, because it's also like a commentary on the real world, too, sort of, where a lot of people believe, because a lot of people think 9/11 is an inside job, that Osama bin Laden was never really, like, leader of the Taliban, like he was manufactured for television. And it's kind of interesting how in this the Mandarin sort of that's kind of like a commentary. It's like it draws parallels to that, of what a lot of people think of Osama bin Laden as not really being this boogeyman, but not really like an actual leader, and this all being like an act and a stage and everything like this by the U.S. in order to perpetuate the war machine. Not not Iron Man war machine. The U.S.'s war machine, military-industrial complex. So that is pretty clever and interesting, and I do like that side of it. But on the other hand, you took Iron Man's arch nemesis and you turned him into a sissy. That's what you did. You turned him into an actor, sissy. Now, that's a bad thing. I mean, even if you get a nice little twist out of it and it's interesting, clever, and all these things, that's like turning the Joker into a sissy. I don't know if I would go that route. I think it's definitely it's experimental to do that. But we all wanted to see, that badass Mandarin that's gonna like be shooting dudes left, right, and center, be threatening to shoot the president in the head in front of everybody, and all these things. And Iron Man comes in to rescue and everything like that. I'd have to say I think that would have been better. I'd have to say. Now I did enjoy the movie very much, and like I said in my non-spoiler version, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's good, but you could have crossed over from just good or almost great to great and amazing if you would have, I think, taken that Mandarin and forget that whole actor thing and really made him that badass terrorist that he looks to be, and then just have a huge battle between all of his forces and Iron Man and everything, and have the president involved in there, and have Guy Pearce's character involved with AIM helping him out and everything. That would have felt like, okay, that's Iron Man's nemesis. That's him right there, and they're going at it. But Marvel has always been squeamish about using the Mandarin. They didn't use him in the first movie. They didn't use him in the second movie. I think it's because of the whole magic thing. They don't want to use the magic thing, too much. So instead, they keep going for villains that use technology, basically, instead. The Iron Monger, you have Whiplash / Crimson Dynamo, the combination character for Mickey Rourke, and now in this one you have Guy Pearce's character who uses technology to enhance his body using the Extremis program that he created. So I can understand why they would want to shy away from the magic route, but they could have made his rings, maybe some kind of technology too, or alien technology, or something like that, which I believe they are. It depends on which comic you read. But, I would kind of like to have seen that, because it's the third one, it's the final hurrah. Bring in that terrifying Mandarin character and make him just bleed Tony, and then have Tony come back at the end and take him down. Maybe have Don Cheadle's character die or some shit like that. Just something. That to me would have been an improvement, because I just love that dark, that dark, gritty type of characterization and stuff like that. So to me, it was an interesting choice to go this route, and it works. It fits with the whole Avengers jokey, but we're serious thing. But for me, I would have just liked to see completely serious. Why so serious? Completely serious. Just saying. So, yeah. So I would have preferred the Mandarin to just be played straight and forget the whole actor bullshit, Ben Kingsley, whatever. Make him the most badass dude Iron Man's ever faced, and make that final battle just be freaking nuts to the wall. That could have been the best Iron Man movie ever for sure. All they had to do, they got too fancy, they got too creative, and they screwed it up. Topic for another video. Moving on. So that's my thoughts on that. However, it was funny. It was a little bit of fun, everything like that. But it takes you away from it as if it's a little bit too unbelievable. Like it's too convenient. Like it's too like, oh, this is silly, and I'm watching a movie again, right? I'm out of the experience now. I'm watching a movie again. I recognize that. And I don't feel as scared of Guy Pearce's character, the leader of AIM. I'm like, okay, he's he's a badass too. He can heat you up by touching you, and he can smash you and everything. He's got this freaking army of like heated up Extremis people that are gonna blow up and kill you and stuff. Makes for a pretty good end battle, but I'm not scared of him in the same way I'm scared of the Mandarin. Even though I probably should be, I'm not. Don't know why. It's just, that's how it works out. So the final battle and everything, just to comment on it, the president thing was cool. I liked how he kidnapped him, everything like that. That was good. Funny scene where Tony saves everybody flying out of the plane and then gets hit by that, was it a huge truck or something like that, a semi or something. And then we see that he's actually controlling it remotely, which was cool too. And then, of course, at the end, probably the best part of the whole movie is when you have backup come in. So you've got Tony there, you've got Rhodey, and then, you know, we need backup, and then, you know, all the housewarming party, all the armors arrive and everything. So that was great. Lots of different cool armors. My favorite probably be the Heartbreaker. You guys can Google that. You can see it's the one that comes over and has like this big centerpiece and looks like a freaking tank, and it's just ready to kick somebody's ass. Probably my favorite one. Or the Igor one, which kind of looks like the Hulkbuster, but not really. It's like for powerlifting or something, like it's lifting things up and stuff. So the end battle does not let down. It's just I would like to see the Mandarin in there with his rings like firing laser beams all over the place and shit. Just would have been cool, man. I do like how Tony's switching armors and he's doing everything. So he's running, he's jumping, then you got Pepper in there. Oh, what's going to happen to Pepper, man? She's going to be turned into a monster. Oh my God, what's he doing? And then, of course, in the end, a great sequence, which they could have also done with the Mandarin in it as well. It would have worked. I'm just saying it. The Mandarin could have worked. So then she saves Tony. Pepper saves Tony. I like that. That was cool. At the very end, it's like, you know, you can't do it alone. You need friends. You got to have, you know, people there to help you out. She saves him. She helps him out. So that was cool. Liked it all. The ending, very touching. You know, it's true. Robert Downey Jr. is frickin' Iron Man, and nobody can take that away. I don't care if they replace him with somebody else. For me, Robert Downey Jr. will always be Iron Man. I don't care who comes in, how talented they are, whatever. They could get Johnny Depp. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Just saying. So, great ending. I enjoyed it, and he steps away from it. He's not going to be doing it anymore. He gets his chest fixed or whatever, gets Pepper help, and decides that's it. Gets rid of all the armors. So, wow, man, what are they going to do with it now? Is he going to be in Avengers 2? Tough to say, man. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to make an Iron Man 4? Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't think so. John Cheadle, I think he said he doesn't think they're going to either. So we'll see what happens. Pretty sure that Downey's contract is up. Pretty sure. I'll have to look that up because I've heard conflicting reports that it is up and it isn't up, but I'm pretty sure his contract's up, which would mean that basically, you know, we're probably not going to be seeing him again as Iron Man because I don't think he wants to do it anymore, unless they throw tons of money. It could be a strategy for him to try to encourage Marvel to throw tons more money at him, and then maybe he'll go for it for the next contract. So we'll see what happens. I think he should do it. I hope Marvel pay him. Pay him, man. Get him back, man. Because if you switching out actors like this, it kills it for me, man. Edward Norton was a good Hulk. You put Mark Ruffalo in. Yeah, he does a good job. But switching out like this, we're going to get into Batman territory, and you're going to have bat nipples. I mean, it's just going to get bad. Just don't do it. You know, stick with one. Stay with it. You know, no bat nipples, okay? No bat nipples. All right. So, overall movie, great movie, a lot of fun. It'll be really meaningful if he's not in the event, if like Iron Man falls off the face of Marvel cinema for a while and is not in Avengers 2, there's no Iron Man 4, and then in like 4 or 5 years they replace him with somebody else. This one will be touching if that's the case. So anyway, there's my in-depth review. Did like the movie, things that would have improved, more dark, more serious, at least one character death, probably Rhodey, let's go for that. And because I don't think they're going to use him for Avengers or anything anyway. And, you know, Mandarin, that badass villain, terrifying, keep him that way. Don't mess with that. It was going good, man. You had it. It was like, oh, this is perfect. You fucked it up. Screwed it up. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say about the movie. A lot of fun, definitely. Great start to superhero movies for 2013. Definitely worth at least 1 or 2 viewings. I'll probably watch it again just for the final battle and everything. A lot of fun. And, yeah, if you guys like the review, you're new to the channel, you want to subscribe, please do so. I'll be doing reviews for every comic book movie this year, probably, or most of them anyway, the ones I care about. I'll call it here. Let me know what you guys thought about Iron Man 3, and specifically the Mandarin. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video just talking about that, but I might, to get people to vote if thumbs up or thumbs down. So we'll see. I'll think about that. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.